testing 1 2 3 testing， 您好，可以听到吗？好的，我也可以听到，谢谢。
对，1、2、3。
Friends from the media, please turn off your microphone if you are not using it.
各位记者朋友，大家。
Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. Questions, please.
谢谢发言人。总台央视记者提问：第77届世界卫生
The 77th World Health Assembly (WHA) will be open on May the 27th. We learned that many countries have expressed support for China's position on Taiwan-related issues at WHA. Was China's comment? There is only one China in the world. Taiwan is an inalienable part of China's territory. The PRC government is the sole legal government representing the whole of China. China's position on the Taiwan region's participation in the activities of international organizations, including the WHO, is consistent and clear. It must be handled in accordance with the One China principle. This is a fundamental principle reaffirming in UNGA Resolution 2758 and WHA Resolution 25.1. From 2009 to 2016, China made a special arrangement for the Taiwan region's participation in the WHA on the basis of the adherence to both sides of the One China Strait to the One China principle. After the DBB authorities coming into power, it refused to recognize the 1992 consensus, which embodies the One China principle and has been hell-bent on the separatist stance of Taiwan independence. As a result, the political foundation for Taiwan regions to participate in WHA no longer exists. To uphold the One China principle and the sanctity and authority of relevant UNGA and WHA resolutions, China has decided not to approve the Taiwan region's participation in this year's WHA. This decision received extensive support and understanding from the international community. Over the past few weeks, the overwhelming majority of countries have reaffirmed to China their commitment to UNGA resolution 2758, firm support for the One China principle, and opposition to Taiwan's participation in the WHA. Over 100 countries wrote to the WHO Director General or expressed via other means their support for China's position. It once again proves that the One China principle is where global opinion trends and the arc of history bends, and shows that the vast majority of countries uphold the just position on Taiwan's participation in the WHA. A just cause enjoys the support of many. The abiding commitment of the international community to the One China principle is unshakable. The Taiwan independent separatist agenda will not succeed. Any attempt that runs contrary to the One China principle or play the Taiwan card will engage in political manipulation is bound to fail. Next question, please.
Good afternoon. A question from Reuters. Are you able to share with us whether Premier Li Qiang plans to hold a bilateral meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida while he is in Seoul? Thank you.
路透社
Yesterday, we've already answered a relevant question which you may refer to. Next question, please.
你好，彭博社记者。据外。
Bloomberg, according to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with Chief Advisor to President of Brazil in Beijing, and they reached common understandings and issued a statement. The two sides supported a peace conference recognized by Russia and Ukraine. Is this the first time that China signs such agreement with countries on this issue? Will China sign more agreements like this? Does it mean that China will not attend the peace conference to be held in Switzerland next month?
First, I want to tell you that yesterday, a member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Wang Yi, held talks with Chief Advisor to Brazilian President Amorim. They had an in-depth exchange of views on the Ukraine crisis and reached 6 common understandings, which are fully embodied in the common understandings between China and Brazil on political settlement of the Ukraine crisis, jointly issued by the two sides. These 6 common understandings reflect not just the joint position of China and Brazil, but also the widespread concerns and a genuine desire for the vast international community for promoting political settlement of the Ukraine crisis. The full-blown Ukraine crisis is now in its 3rd year. The fighting has shown no sign of stopping and only generated more spillovers. The conflict could even further escalate. It is widely believed that the most urgent imperative now is to cool down the situation and accumulate conditions for ceasefire. Many developing countries, including China and Brazil, have called for upholding an objective and just position on the Ukraine crisis. All of us believe that the dialogue and negotiation is the only viable way out of the crisis. All of us oppose fueling the flames and hope to build up international consensus to find the most extensive common ground for restoring peace. The common understandings, though jointly initiated by China and Brazil, are meant for the international community. We welcome more countries, developing and developed countries alike, to support and join in these common understandings and together play a constructive role in de-escalation and promoting talks for peace. As for the specific questions you asked, I want to tell you that China and Brazil are major developing countries and representatives of new emerging markets. China-Brazil relations goes beyond the realm of bilateral relations. We have similar positions on the Ukraine crisis and has grave concerns over the escalation of the situation and are committed to the early political settlement of the crisis. We both oppose filling the flames to the escalation. The common understandings reached between the two sides demonstrate the two major countries as two responsible players and made contributions to the settlement of the crisis. We welcome more members of the international community to join us. You also asked whether this means that China will not participate in the peace conference to be held in Switzerland. You can look into the 6-point common understandings just released, where you can find the answer to this question. The second point of the 6 common understandings showed that both the two sides believe that all parties should facilitate dialogue for the settlement of the crisis. The two sides support the proper timely holding of a peace conference with the participation of both Russia and Ukraine, equal participation of all parties, and fair discussions of all peace plans. Next question, please.
Beijing Daily. According to the World Economic Situation and Prospects mid-year update released days ago by the UN Department for Economic and Social Affairs, China's economic growth is expected to be 4.8%, up by 0.1% compared with the prediction in January. What's your comment? When noted the report, many international financial institutions made positive assessments on China's economy. They believe now is a good time to develop a portfolio in China and expressing their desire to continue to invest in China. UBS raised its rating on the Chinese mainland stock index and Hong Kong stocks to overweight. This year, China's economy is off to a good start and positive factors continue to build up. We have every confidence in hitting the targets. China is a strong engine of the world economy. China's prosperity brings important opportunities for global prosperity. We remain committed to high-quality development and high-standard opening up, and will keep contributing to faster global recovery. Next one, please.
We noted that over 300,000 TEUs of freight were transported via the new Western Land Sea Corridor train service so far this year. Can you share more about the latest development of this corridor and offer some comment? The new Western Land Sea Corridor locates in China's western hinterland, connecting the Silk Road economic belt and the 21st century maritime Silk Road, and supporting the high standard opening up and the building of a new development paradigm in Western China. In 2019, the Chinese government rolled out the master plan for the corridor. Over the past years, guided by the goal of building a whole chain, a vast platform, and a new business model, the new Western Land Sea Corridor has seen its multimodal transport booming and logistic network hubs taking ship at a faster pace, bringing cargoes across mountains and rivers and connecting the world with services. The corridor has become a vivid example of China's high-level opening up. From a single train route to a whole network, the multimodal transport of the corridor now covers 72 cities in 18 provinces, regions, and municipalities in China, and carries cargo to 514 ports of 123 countries and regions worldwide. In 2023, the Sea Rail combined transport carried 860,000 TEUs of goods, up by 14% year-on-year. High-quality agricultural products from Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and other countries have been brought into the Chinese market. China's new energy products, new material products, and electromechanical products have been transported overseas to help economic growth of ASEAN countries. As General Secretary Xi Jinping noted, the development of the corridor is of great importance in building of an opening up paradigm that connects China and the world, as well as the eastern and western regions of the nation. We noted that many provinces have rolled out policy measures to make the new Western Land Sea Corridor an open corridor for development of strategic importance for better connectivity both at home and abroad. With a thriving Silk Road on steel rail, we are confident that the new Western Land Sea Corridor will continue to reach further, support bigger trade, and bolster deeper industrial cooperation, become an international economic corridor with robust impetus. Next question, please.
That's another question from AFP on the Philippines. The Philippines say today it has opened a Coast Guard post in the north of the country. They said it's a response to what they call China's military buildup near Taiwan over the past 2 years. What's your response to that? Thank you.
法新社菲律宾今天表示，为了应对中国在台湾附近近2年的军事集结，菲律宾在北部设立了一个海岸警卫队哨所。请问中方对此有何回应？
我不掌握你提到的相。
I'm not aware of the information you mentioned. We hope that the Philippines can abide by the One China principle, act prudently on Taiwan-related issues.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Reuters again. Boeing confirmed today that plane deliveries to China have been delayed due to a review from Chinese regulators. Could you please share more information about this review and China's position on the delivery of Boeing airplanes to Chinese customers? Thank you.
路透社，我的问题有关于波音公司。波音公司于今天证实，因为中国监管者的监管，波音公司的飞机未能够按时交付给中国，受到了推迟。您能否提供更多的信息，以及提供中国在这一方面的立场？
有关的问题呢，建议你向
I'd refer you to competent authorities for specifics. Next one, please.
AFP. My question is about Guatemala. The Guatemalan Exporters Association said yesterday that China has banned the entry of Guatemala's coffee and macadamia into China. Is it true? If so, can you share with us the reasons behind?
中国和危地
China does not have diplomatic ties with Guatemala. I'm not aware of the specifics you mentioned, but I want to tell you that there's but one China in the world. The People's Republic of China government is the sole legal government representing the whole of China. Taiwan is an alienable part of China's territory. The One China principle is a widespread international consensus and a basic norm of international relations. It's also the fundamental foundation for China to have foreign relations with other countries. Recently, the Guatemala president held virtual meeting with Lai Qingde, and Foreign Minister of Guatemala also participated in the so-called inauguration of the Taiwan leader. We firmly condemn this, and this does not help Guatemala and China's cooperation in trade. We hope that those in Guatemala can start from their own interests of the nation of people and make right decisions that serves their people's interests. Next question, please.
Again, during his visit to Beijing last October, Kenyan's President William Ruto asked China for a $1 billion loan to complete road construction projects that have stalled in various places around the country when the government encountered liquidity challenges after the onset of the COVID pandemic. Kenyan government officials, including the finance minister, have since told Reuters the details of the loan were being worked on by both sides, but the funding has not been released. Can the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirm that China is in talks with Kenya over this loan, and can it confirm the amount under negotiation? And if so, Can the Ministry of Foreign Affairs give an update on where those discussions stand? Which structure institution would provide the funding? And when does the Ministry expect the loan to be approved, if indeed it does expect it to get a green light? Thank you.
路透社去年10月，肯尼亚
在相互
In recent years, China and Kenya, on the basis of mutual trust and mutual benefits, have carried out wide practical cooperation. Mombasa, Nairobi Railways, and Nairobi Airport, among other projects, have greatly improved Kenya's infrastructure. It has been praised by many parties and become an example of Belt and Road cooperation. As for the loan you mentioned, China's financial ministries are working together with those from the Kenyan side. The two sides will work together to implement the common understanding reached between the two leaders to further deepen and expand our practical cooperation in financing and trade, to let the cooperation outcome benefit more people and substantiate our comprehensive strategic cooperation partnership. Next question, please.
还有
Thank you, AFP again. Another question on the military drills around Taiwan. A U.S. high official yesterday strongly urged China to act with restraint. What's your reaction to this U.S. remarks? Thank you.
法新社，我的问题有关于台湾附近的军演。昨天，美国的高官表示强烈敦促中方在这一方面保持克制。请问您对美方的言论有何回应？
台湾是中国的。
Taiwan is China's Taiwan. It's not for the U.S. to making such remarks. The root cause for the tensions across the Taiwan Strait is the DPP authorities' attempt to rely on the U.S. to seek independence. They have been trying to contain China with Taiwan under pretexts. If the U.S. truly wants to uphold peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, it should clearly and unequivocally abide by the One China principle and oppose Taiwan independence. China will never allow any force or under any excuse to provide support for Taiwan. A just cause will support by all. In recent years and in recent few weeks, many political figures in many countries have voiced their support for China's just position and voiced their support for China's sovereignty and China's just cause for upholding national sovereignty. Taiwan independence leads to a dead end. Conniving at and supporting Taiwan independence will only create troubles to themselves. China's resolve and will to defend national sovereignty and territorial integrity remains unchanged. We will firmly oppose Taiwan independence. Next question, please.
谢谢发言人，我是凤凰卫视的记者。据报道，英国警方。
Phoenix TV is reported that the second hearing on the case of Yuan Chunbiu, office manager of the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Officer in London, and the two other men charged by the UK police will begin later at the UK Central Criminal Court. Any comment on that? Over the past few weeks, the UK side has framed cases and charges to vilify China in the name of national security, and even arbitrarily arrested and prosecuted Chinese citizens in the UK and disrupted the normal functioning of the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office in London. China deploys and opposes it. The UK's false accusations tramples on the rule of law. This is an act of political manipulation using national security as a pretext. What the US has done seriously violates the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese citizens in the UK, China-UK relations, and breaches the principles of international law, and discredits its own image. China strongly urges the UK to correct its wrongdoing at once, protect the lawful rights and interests of Chinese citizens in the UK, and ensure normal functioning of the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office. China will take firm measures to uphold the rights and interests of Chinese citizens and institutions overseas. Next one, please.
大家还有问题吗？
Any other questions?
没有的话，今天的记。
This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you for being here. See you.